Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, it is amazing, and I actually forgot about that, which I feel terrible about, that Senator Frederickson and his husband literally set up a scholarship granting organization to serve LGBTQ youth in Nebraska. And folks, that's the way to do it. And he doesn't come to the legislature with his hand out and say, give us $10 million because we're going to export our values with taxpayer dollars into the kids of Nebraska. And that's exactly what LB1402 is doing. Many of you are talking about proficiency scores in public schools, but yet you're willing to give this money to schools that don't have the same accountabilities, don't have the same transparency, or the same testing requirements as public schools. So it's apples and oranges because we have no way of knowing if we are really helping these kids by giving money to schools that have no accountability. The money is going to be going to more than just accredited schools. The money will go to approved schools that do not have the same standards or regulations or requirements as our public schools do. And that should be a problem for every lawmaker and every Nebraskan who wants to make sure that these kids are getting educated. The teachers in approved schools for this money aren't required to have the same level of credentials as accredited or public schools. They do require quote unquote certified teachers, but they don't have the same credentialing requirements. My issue in addition to that is just simply the taxpayer funding of private organizations that discriminate. I did a tour of some private schools around Nebraska a couple of years ago with Senator Linehan and some other senators, and I asked the superintendent point blank, do you allow gay kids in your school? Do you allow gay staff or teachers in your school? And he gave me this roundabout no answer that was very political, and it was like, we hope that people make the choice to turn away from sin so they can be eligible for our program. You know, it was a no. It was a no, and he said that to my face, which good on him, but why would we be putting taxpayer funding into not just private organizations that don't serve every child, but that actually discriminate against them? This bill uses public funds to benefit private schools that discriminate against gay people on purpose. So talk about parental choice. The same people who are talking about parental rights in here around this bill, first of all, you can send your kids to private schools if you want to already, period. There are already scholarships and programs that exist to help you send your kids to these schools, period. The Catholic Church is raising money every Sunday to get butts in their seats and bodies in their schools, period. And they don't need government help to get that done. Fundamental family rights, the rights of parents, are already well established in Nebraska and respected by everybody, and that's not what this bill is about. This bill is giving public funds to schools that discriminate, full stop. And legislators like the ones pushing LB 1402, they don't trust parents. They already don't trust parents. They think sex education is hurting kids. They don't trust parents to opt out, which they have the opportunity to do. They want to end access to accurate information through stopping sex education in our schools. Think about the parents of trans kids in Nebraska. Legislators don't respect their rights. They're using choice language to market this bill, to market this concept, but they don't support the choice of people to make personal decisions for themselves, to make personal medical decisions for themselves. Only the choice to use public funds to send kids to Catholic school where they can be discriminated against. This is about getting a foot in the door. Thank you, Mr. President. This is about getting a foot in the door to chip away at public education, to take a shot at teachers' unions and public employees because they don't like them politically. If that wasn't the case, otherwise, we'd just fund the schools. Take the $10 million and give it to schools, or if it's really about the kids, give it to the kids. Let's do a UBI for the kids, a universal basic income for the kids. And then parents can use that money to help with their kids' education or their housing or their food or whatever it is that they actually need, instead of giving a giveaway to the Catholic Church sanctioned by the state. Thank you, Mr. President.